Hi guys, it is April from Getting Hugga With It. Today I wanted to talk to you about the major drama surrounding AJ Finn right now. I mentioned it kind of casually in one of my recent videos about female stalkers. I'll link that somewhere. And a lot of people had some questions about it, didn't know about the drama. Other people did have feelings about the drama, and I wanted to dive into what the drama is about and my take on it. So let's get into it. So AJ Finn, I don't know if you know, is the very popular author of The Woman in the Window. This was an enormous hit a couple of years ago. It was one of my very favorite thrillers that I read in 2018. It is going to be turned into a movie with Julianne Moore and a bunch of amazing actors. I think that's coming out in 2019. And it just was like a wildly successful hit. Gillian Flynn had a blurb about it. Stephen King had a blurb about it. And it just was so insanely successful. And from that, I didn't think much more. I read the book. I really enjoyed the book. And then an article came out from The New Yorker. This is about, I want to say 3 or 4 weeks ago. And the story in The New Yorker was called A Suspense Novelist Trail of Deception, and it was written by Ian Parker. And the article pointed out that AJ Finn is actually just the name that Dan Mallory writes under. So his name isn't actually AJ Finn, it's Dan Mallory. And Dan Mallory has worked in the publishing industry for years and years and years. Which kind of explains how he got an in to, writing this. Maybe he knew a lot about marketing and was able to, kind of push his book. Now, that is not in any way the damning stuff surrounding AJ Finn right now. The article is a long article. I encourage you to go and read it. I will link it below. So the article talks a lot about his many lies. It says that AJ Finn, or Dan Mallory, lied about having cancer. He would be in the publishing industry at different publishing houses and would go on sick leave, say I'm having this procedure done, and come back and he would look exactly the same as before. Like, it didn't appear that he had any chemotherapy or anything like that. His hair was still intact, he didn't lose any weight, and it says that he lied about having cancer. The article also said that he lied about his family. In particular, he would say sometimes at book events that his parents were dead, that his brother had committed suicide, and that was all lies. And it also talked a bit about how The Woman in the Window was really kind of ripped off of Rear Window, and it wasn't really his own idea. That's just kind of an aside, I would say. I mean, this article is long. It takes some time to read the whole thing. But I got to the end of it, and I felt a lot of mixed feelings. But I definitely felt like I wasn't getting the whole story. You can't really sum up a man in an article. And the article definitely felt very skewed, I'm going to tell you and dish about all of the stuff that AJ Finn has done that's, immoral. So I just felt a lot of mixed stuff. So I went to Bookstagram, like you do. I just thought maybe people will be talking about it there. And sure enough, I found all sorts of people talking about AJ Finn or Dan Mallory, and I want to say 99% of the stuff that I saw were people saying he wasn't a good person, that they were disgusted by AJ Finn, that they would never read him ever again, that they were felt fooled by the publishing company that actually published The Woman in the Window. And, you know, the things that AJ Finn did and lied about are truly awful. Like, who lies about having cancer when there are so many people, thousands of people struggling with cancer, fighting cancer at this very moment in time, and so many people who have lost their lives to cancer? And, you know, who lies about having family members dead when they're completely alive, and so many other people have lost family members and would do anything to have 5 more minutes with those people? Like, I was very shocked reading about the lies. I do have to say, I think the reactions from people on Instagram, I'd say that their answer to that is a really bad man would lie about those things. I was kind of shocked that the majority of people had like just one thought about it. It was like very black and white to them. You're a bad person or you're a good person, that's it. And these things make you a bad person. And I kind of walked away from Bookstagram going, oh, I don't feel that way. I am not in any way condoning lying about those kinds of things. No, I would never do that. I don't agree with that in any way. But I am concerned that AJ Finn might be really struggling with some mental illnesses. The article specifically said and mentioned rather flippantly that he has been diagnosed with bipolar disorder. Now, I think it was his brother. I could be wrong about this. You'll read the article if you're interested and find out for yourself. But from my memory, I think it was his brother who said, you know, no, he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. And I'm not saying that people with bipolar disorder lie about all sorts of things in any way. I don't know anything about bipolar disorder. I would never talk about it like I understand it because I don't suffer from it. I don't know anything about it. We're learning about this one mental illness that Dan Mallory suffers from, bipolar disorder, rather flippantly. It's just thrown right in there. And, you know, all of this is also secondhand. It's from his brother. We have not sat down with his therapist and gone, what else does he have? Or what is he dealing with? What is he suffering from? And I just feel like we just don't know enough about his mental health history. And I kind of feel like so many people are just jumping down his throat and not giving that a thought. And I'm worried about that. I'm worried that in like 6 years from now, we're going to learn all of this stuff that he's suffering from. And wouldn't we feel awful about ourselves if we found that out and had judged him like crazy? You know, this is a lot of people judging him. A lot of people read The New Yorker. And a lot of people, you know, look to Bookstagram or YouTube, BookTube, for recommendations and their thoughts on books and on authors and stuff. And I'm a bit nervous that there are a lot of people judging him, and we might find out a lot more in the coming years. Dan Mallory, or AJ Finn, he's not come out with anything since this article came out. I kind of expected him to defend himself. He hasn't said anything, and that might be because he's hoping to distance himself from it. Maybe it will just cool itself off. All of those rumors will cool themselves off, or all of those truths will cool themselves off, and he can go on and be an author. or maybe he's working through stuff. I just feel a bit icky about the article being so one way, so skewed, and reality is never just one way. So yeah, a lot of people on Bookstagram said they would never read AJ Finn ever again. I don't feel that way. I think I will read AJ Finn again. Considering the fact that I really do think that there's way more to this story than can be condensed in a very long article. I just think there's more to his story. I also really enjoy his writing, and I would not feel good about not picking him up again. And everyone's different, and everyone should do what they think is right. What I think is right is continuing to read him for myself, and what I think is right is like waiting to learn more about his story, and you know, that is also personal, his own mental illness stuff. That is really between him and his therapist. I don't know if we'll ever know everything in his story, everything about his mental health, but I just think there's more, and I don't want to dismiss him as a person or an author because of this story. So that's my rambly thoughts on the drama surrounding AJ Finn. I would love to know in the comments below what you think about the drama. Have you read the article? If you have read the article, what did you think about the author of the article? And what did you think about the article itself? I am interested. Like, it's a fascinating conversation. But yeah, we can continue the conversation in the comments below, and I'll talk with you soon. Bye guys.